Hello and welcome to the Local Music Revolution. I am your host, Ogre. On this episode, we will be talking to the punk band Sexual Stevo and the Neighborhood Scum. I'm not gonna lie, this show brings in bands and musicians and artists that are in genres that I don't understand and I don't know anything about. I am a metalhead, I always have been, I always will be. The problem is, getting to talk to these guys, I have to find a middle ground. I have to find something that we both have in common to be able to build a camaraderie in the interview. So when I got this band onto the show, first thing I did, instead of looking for differences, I looked for similarities. That is how we build friendships, is looking at the similarities between us. The guys are really, really cool. They're laid back, outspoken, adamant about their style and their music. And that's all me too. That is what's great, is it's just a different type of music. I want to preface this show by explaining that there are some things in this interview that had to be censored. It's not because I don't like what they are doing. I really, really respect exactly what they're doing and what's going on. Rather than iTunes has a specific user agreement, and if I violate that, I could lose my podcast. And I'm sorry, but I want to keep this podcast as long as possible, so some things had to be edited out. If you are interested in getting the unedited version, the raw version that's going to be coming out, I will post that in a separate post that is not on the podcast feed on the WordPress, and make sure that you guys know that that is the one that is unedited. Speaking of WordPress, that is where the entire operation is run. You can follow that blog and you can be up to date on everything that I'm posting. All major updates come through there first. You can also contact me about the blog, about the podcast, about musicians, about anything related to this podcast at facebook.com/thelocalmusicrevolution and on Twitter at Tlmr podcast. You can also email me if you need to do business, the Local Music Revolution. I also have Tumblr, I also have Instagram. Every major social media outlet has a profile for this podcast, and you can connect and talk to me about what you've heard, about what you want to hear, and how you are enjoying what the podcast is doing. Life is not always nice and shiny, and neither is music. It's not meant to be. Both have their great beauty, but also they both have their grimy underbelly where very few go. Few understand this and fewer embrace that. That is what's great about this band, and I can't wait for you guys to hear this. I guess it's great that I say what goes, because here is Sexual Stevo and the Neighborhood Scum and all of their messy glory. And we're here with Sexual Stevo and the Neighborhood Scum. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing all right, guys. Thank you for asking. All right, so firstly, who's all with you guys who is in this interview?
It's Sexual Stevo. I am the front man and lead singer of this thing. And Josh Pardo. I'm lead guitarist and also kind of rhythm too, I guess.
And I am Anthony Berletic. They call me the Gimp. I like to beat it up.
The Gimp.
I'm the drummer.
Awesome.
And right now, our rhythm, we've been going through a few different rhythm guys right now, trying out some different ones, because we were just jamming with friends. Kind of why we named it the Neighborhood Scum. Just kind of had a bunch of our musician friends just kind of come and jam with us and made some stuff up. So that's kind of how it came to be. And but none of them were really permanent. So kind of just going and coming. And right now we're trying out a couple different people. But yeah.
All right, guys. Well, before we get too far into this, I've got to know where the name Sexual Steve-O came from.
Well, it's actually named after me. I've had the nickname Steve-O for like around 2nd grade, and yeah, growing up, I was kind of just the quote-unquote pervert of my high school and friends and whatnot. And I honestly thought it was more about expressing my awesome sexuality and whatnot. And I just figured instead of naming the band Perverted Steve-O, we'll throw a twist and name it Sexual, because I'm a very sexual person. If you listen to the lyrics or could understand them. Yeah. I like to talk and sing about sex, basically. A lot of weird stuff going on.
Is that a theme throughout the entirety of the songs? I've only heard one, I believe. Is that a theme throughout the entirety of your lyrics?
Just about most of them. I like to talk about anything that's on my mind, really. Some songs are about murder, other things are about things I'm going through at that point in time while I'm singing it. But a lot of it is about sexual frustration and frustration in general. I'm just an angry person that also likes to get horny.
That's fucking awesome, man. All right, so you guys released a demo CD this past year. It's called Sex Fiend Raw Live and Improvised. Can you explain that?
Well, just like our songs, they're all just kind of fucking like, the names of the songs are just kind of crazy and just super just out there and vulgar. But it's the Raw Live and Improvised came out because we jammed in our garage, and that's it. It was just we just went into my garage and I put shit. We don't have any. Our recordings kind of suck because they're just off the iPhone. We just put my iPhone in the middle of the garage and just started playing, and everything we wrote was improvised. None of it was written down or practiced or anything. It was just all on the spot in the moment.
But in correlation to the shows that we played, we really took it upon ourselves to learn, like note for note, what we improvised that day. We listened the hell out of the recordings. We learned what we had to do, and we laid it down. We played the exact same stuff that you hear in the recordings. It's basically like as if it wasn't improvised, but it is improvised.
Yeah, it was improvised, but then we just kind of went, after we got our first show, we were jamming for probably about 2 to 3 months maybe before we actually came out with the demo. It wasn't really very long at all. It was we jammed, improvised, and I would just leave my phone recording right there in the middle for like 45, 30 minutes at a time, and then we would just and then songs would come out, and then we just kind of cut it, and then when we got our first show, we just had to go back, and it was kind of tedious, but just relearn kind of everything we did because we didn't remember. We were just, it was improvised. We were drunk, like it was just kind of like that. It kind of all came out from being really drunk most of the time.
Do you guys still write like that?
Huh?
Do you guys still write like that? Do you get drunk or press record, see what happens?
Yeah, all the time. That's kind of how it comes to be all the time. Like some songs we're working. We have maybe 2 songs that we actually kind of just had a chord progression and then put the chord progression out there, and then the rest is improvised, but it was starting off as something. But and there's one we're working on right now that's kind of there's some chord progressions, but how it's actually when the drums and the singing and then the lead comes in, that's going to be all improvised. Just the rhythm is kind of going to be a little more already made a little bit, I guess.
So do you find it's easier? Have you tried any other way of writing your songs?
We, for the most part, we've actually kind of come together and asked, like, what are you guys necessarily feeling right now? And, like, in terms of the music, that's, like, it seems like it would be a pretty productive way, but we've all kind of agreed upon that the best way for us to write our music is to improvise, because you're not trying to focus, like, because a lot of the times your attention is deterred from, like, what's actually going on to, oh, what do you think? What should we actually come up with right now? When we improvise, there's no bars in front of us. We are able to, without even having to speak about it directly, we're able to put what we're feeling, out there. And like I said, we've all kind of agreed that that's the best way to do it, because that way we kind of just, like, we paint these pictures with our music.
We're in the moment. Yeah, that's why it's raw and live. Just because like, the best thing for us to do is get drunk or whatever we do, and then do it, because we loosen up, we get into the moment. The rhythm will go, or the drums will go. Somebody would start first, and then everybody just kind of adds something to it because we feel it. Because we end up feeling it, and then that's how it starts.
Yeah, I used to do that when I was in the garage. When I used to have bands and everything, I'd ask the guys, "How you feeling? Heavy, slow, medium?" And then I'd just go from there. And I'd start playing the drum beats and everything, and they'd all jump in, and we'd write like that. It's very kind of like edge of your seat kind of deal. At least in my experience, because I've been at the point where I knew exactly where they were going and was able to transition and actually, like, form an entire song. And then there's other times where I fall flat on my face and I lose it within like 2 minutes. But yeah, that's it. It's a fun way to write songs. But have you guys have never tried any other way to write, like, other than in the band, improvising?
Well, after our rhythms kind of just, we went through like two, 3 rhythm guys before I was just like, you know what, man, like, there's nobody coming, like, staying even long enough to do anything else anymore after we put out our demo. And so, I mean, after that, I've been just kind of doing the rhythm parts. I'm lead. I played the lead mainly, and so I've just been, there's a couple songs that we're working on right now where I have to write the rhythm, and then when we find somebody, I have to teach them the rhythm so I could put solos into it. And so, I mean, that's kind of where we're at right now. I'm kind of acting as a rhythm and a lead, but can't do really both because there's nothing else. We don't have a bass or anything. It's just 2 guitars and drums and vocals.
Oh, really? Oh, that's... I went years without a bass, and that it sucks. Everything drops out if the guitar goes away.
Yeah, it really does, because it seems like because the drums are the backbone, but it seems like there's no fine vertebrae in that backbone. Because me as a drummer, I got my rhythm down. I actually taught myself how to play the bass recently, and because Josh is multitasking, playing the lead and the rhythm, and myself, I'm actually trying to come up with bass riffs for the songs that we've made, and it's a bit of a hassle. It's fun, I'll give it that, but it's not the same as when everyone can focus on one particular job that they got to do. That's why right now our current rhythm guitarist, Luis Bravo, he's a really talented guy. Hopefully he can stick it out with us, because that would mean everything, because we're ready to play some more shows. We got some shows booked for us, in the Oxnard, LA area. But
nice.
We just want to make sure that we don't have to, like, bitch out of that, because that would really, like, not be cool at all.
Yeah, I hate backing out of shows. I've only done it twice in 10 years. And that was once because we got in a car accident, and 2 because one of the guitarists quit. And
Man, that's great.
I can't stand that feeling.
Yeah, we cancel some shows kind of often because mostly work schedules and not having a rhythm guitar that's actually dedicated.
Well, we've actually only backed out twice. I mean, we've been asked to play a lot, and we have to say no, or like we're not going to be able to even give you a real answer, a solid answer until soon, until like a week before the date, because we're jamming with somebody right now. We don't know if he's gonna stick it out. Like, our other guy left, so he's not there no more. So we got to see if this other guy is down. And then we were supposed to play a show on the 27th. What's today? The 26th or 27th?
It's the 28th. I don't even know.
I don't know. 27th, whatever that was. Today, yesterday, tomorrow. I don't know. We were supposed to play a show, and we didn't. We were jamming with some guy, and he said he was down to do it. And then we never heard anything after that. Like, we would text him, be like, dude, come jam. Like, we need to jam. We have the show coming up. We need to practice. And then we wouldn't hear anything. And then a couple weeks later, he'd message us, oh, sorry, I was doing this and that or whatever. I'm still down to do the show, all this. And then we never hear nothing again for a few weeks. And now the show is happening, or happened, or tonight, I don't know. And we haven't talked to that guy in weeks, just because he just kind of left. And right now we're working with another guy that seems like he's down. He's actually dedicated himself to learn our songs already that are on the demo, and then the new ones we're working on. And so it seems like he's gonna be there and to play the next few shows that we do. You know.
All right, so you guys are based out of Reedley. Are all of you from Reedley? You said it was the neighborhood thing, so all of you are there?
Yeah, basically all of us.
Okay, so how is it finding musicians in Reedley? Like, I'm from Tlmr, and
it's so horrible. Like, nobody out here. There's like no punk scene whatsoever, and everybody else is just into either metal or hardcore. But I mean, when we get lucky, we get a guy that's into metal. Like, it's still decent. We're borderline metal there, a little bit heavy metal, but yeah, it's hard. A lot of people aren't doing that now, aren't into punk bands and doing that around here. That's why we have to go up to LA and Ventura, Oxnard area, because that's the closest place where it's at right now. Over here, like, it's like there's no scene for that, and yeah, that's basically it. It's really hard. Like, we have a couple friends that we went to high school with a few years ago, and then they ended up learning the guitar or whatever. They're decent, and we hit them up to come jam. Some of them come through, some of them don't after a while, and just think that it's all about hardcore music now. And so it's kind of a hard task to find somebody.
This goes hand in hand with everything in life, because location is key to everything. We live in Reedley, and like we said, there's no music scene around here. Also, we actually have to just go to nearby towns like Fresno for the most part, and every venue that we've hit up in Fresno will not let us play, mostly due to the fact that they just get turned off by the name. Obviously, it's a pretty outlandish name, but that's what punk is, and they just don't understand that. It's this new wave of music that's taken over, this screamo,
hardcore,
all that,
pop, college pop.
Yeah, I've seen that too. In Tlmr and Visalia, most of the bands are this metalcore, deathcore thing going on. There's not really much of a metal scene. I personally love metal. I grew up on the whole 80s metal, the 80s hair metal, 90s metal. And I really enjoy that stuff. I love being in bands that have a decent groove and say something. And have like decent growls, but can also sing at the same time. but I'm not a fan of the deathcore, metalcore kind of thing. It's just something that goes over
Yeah,
my head.
sure.
Like, I've legitimately been told, if you don't change the way you play drums, you'll never get in a band in the Valley. I'm like, what is your problem?
Holy shit, we got that same little comment bullshit. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's like, no, I play the drums the way I want to. You can shut your mouth and let me do my thing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like I'm taking a recording arts class in college right now.
Oh, nice.
And there's some musicians in there and stuff, and then the ones that I talked to that seemed like they were into like some pretty cool music, they're all into just hardcore music. That's like, and that's like it. And then like they listen to some of our songs, and they're just like, does it get any faster? Where's the double bass? Is like,
where's the drop down or the breakdown? Where's the fucking call?
And we're just like, dude, like that's not really what it's about. I mean, shit, we're just, I don't know, man. Like we're hard, we're raw. Like we have an energy. We're not just all technical like a lot of the hardcore bands are now. We're just singing about kind of nonsense or shit. Now, like what's really popular around here is straight edge bands, and all they talk about is how drinking and partying sucks and how everybody that does it is a loser. And I'm like, shit, I mean, we don't bag on people that are straight edge or whatever, but it's like, what's the purpose of singing about it? What's the purpose of singing about how it's shitty to party and how it's shitty to smoke and drink and all that stuff? Like, it's like, what is that? How is that? That's not an emotion. That's not anything, really. Like, it's just kind of kids wanting to be in the band and just singing about nonsense, I guess.
I see it more as a personal view more than anything else, and it's something that I can't relate to because I do drink, so I don't understand it, and it's not something that I listen to actively.
Well, we think about, we're not condoning it or into like murder and rape and all this other craziness, psycho stuff that's going on. It's just, we sing about it because that's what the real world is, and that's what's going on around us. Like, it's just kind of the real world from a psycho's perspective, I guess.
Speaking of that, can you tell me about the song Brain Sick?
The song Brain Sick. It's actually, it started off as a song about how fucking angry I am every day, like as a person. And we put a spin on it, kind of made it about a young man who wakes up very angry and takes his anger out on different people, probably trying to rape them and murder them. Maybe not in that order, but it's pretty awesome. But basically, yeah, that song is mostly about anger. No matter what you're angry about, I hope that people can relate to that song. Like, no matter what you feel about your life or anyone else's, everyone knows they experience anger, and that song is about fucking getting angry and jumping in the pit and fucking taking your anger out, basically.
All right, man. Well, here is Brain Sick. That was brain sick. All right, you guys. You were telling me that you needed to find musicians for your band. Are you currently looking for those musicians?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
If there's anyone that's going to listen to this podcast and is interested in joining our band, we are completely open for that. We only really have two positions to fill. You know, like we need a bassist and a rhythm. Obviously, that's a huge part of the band itself. But, you know, we're really talented individuals, and we're seeking talented individuals that are down to play shows in really cool environments, not just like around the area that we live in, but we're down to, you know, pack it up and head out on the road to all these cool places in Ventura, LA, Oxnard, that strip of land. Basically, you know, we've kind of developed a following there, and we've been offered to play countless shows that we haven't like been able to like fully go through with, and it's a good time. You know, it's a cool scene to be around, different than all the stuff around here that we're used to. It's a good experience in general. It's great.
We don't go around and just play shows and then leave. Like, we go over there, we go up there and go all out. We go up there, we go to the shows, we attend the shows, we get in the mosh pit for the other band, we go get drunk and whatever, drink with the audience, with everybody that's there with the band, and then we go up, we do our thing, and then we're back down and we put on a show, whatever, everybody gets in the pit, it's cool, release anger, that's kind of what we're about. And a lot of raw energy, and then we just we like to throw parties. We like to have a party with everybody, invite people that are at the show to come. We usually get a couple hotels, like multiple hotel rooms, and throw big hotel parties and invite bands and people that are there, girls.
All right, so you said you needed a bass player and a rhythm guitar player? That are down and serious to record and to travel and play shows?
Shit, like, they don't even need to be permanent. They don't even need to be that. I mean, like, as long as they're actually down to learn our music or even write some new stuff with us and then record it with us and then play shows. It's mainly for us about playing the shows. That's mainly what it is for us. We don't even really... Shit, we record on an iPhone. Like, we don't even really... we just want to play the shows, and we just want to have that experience, and that's what we do. It's more, for us, it's more about the live performances and about the people and the culture.
All right.
And that's just what we want, basically. We want somebody that's down with it, and that's down with going and playing the shows, and then that's not going to bitch about having to stay and then, like, not liking the culture around it and what's going on and all that stuff. We go, and it's just like going to a show for us. Like, it's just, we listen to the music. I mean, we get in, we're involved with it, and then we do our thing, and then we stay. We're still involved with it.
Yeah,
it's great. It's a fully produced trip, you know. That's how rock stars should be, you know. The people who want to be rock stars, like, that's what it's about. It's about having a good time with the people that like the same things that you do.
Yeah, that's the whole deal about the local scenes, though. They need to support each other. There's been way too many shows I've been to where the bands and their fans just leave after that set, and the rest of the bands are struggling. They're playing to people that have already seen them or their crew or their family.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. There's just not much going on around here, and it's pretty sad because there are a lot of talented musicians around where we are that just don't have the chance to showcase their skills.
Yeah, man, it's terrible. So you were talking about you guys participating in the shows throughout the entire time. My question now is, what gets you guys going when you're on stage? Is it like a mosh pit or a circle pit or like the wall of death or something like that? Is there a specific point where you're like, this is awesome?
Well, I myself like to see a circle pit or mosh pit, whatever you want to qualify it as. And basically, we're just there to play our songs and hope that someone hears and understands what the hell I'm saying. And I like to get on stage and make sure everyone knows that I'm really, really gross.
So yeah, we go up there, and I mean, we want people to get in the mosh pit, whatever you want, circle pit, whatever you want to call it. Like, just get involved in it. And I mean, what we play comes from a feeling. Like, it's not. That's why we don't like to just make songs up by ourselves and then jam them together. That's why we do it all improvised, because it's more of a feeling and more of an emotion, anger, and letting out all your frustrations and all that stuff. And hopefully when we play the shows, we want them to let it out and let it all out too, and participate in the mosh pit or whatever you want to do.
And in correlation to how the pit is, you basically, people do what they want. Like, they march around, they run around, they flail their arms, you know, you like kind of prance to the beat of the music. It's great. Like, as long as it's none of that hardcore dancing bullshit, like, then it's all good. Like, we welcome any type of activity in the pit, because that's what it's about. You know, that's where it is.
If I see you hardcore dancing, I will call you out on it and ask you why you are dancing. It is ridiculous.
It's like they're just trying to show off their karate moves. How hard I am. Doing cartwheels and stuff, and like, I mean, shit, it's not that bad, but like, it's like, if you're just going in there to show off what you can do, then why are you in there? Like,
yeah, go to like a dance party or something in the club, not like some punk rock show.
Yeah, man, I've never understood the hardcore dancing, and I've had somebody try to explain it to me and give me the dance moves. I'm like, bro, no, it's not gonna happen. No.
Yeah, name for it and stuff like that. They're just cartwheels and fucking, well, I don't even know, hardcore two-step. Something, just other bullshit names that they give them. They give the dancing, and people try to perfect their dancing and show it off. And it's like, come on, man, what is that?
Yeah, with that being said, that just proves that the rock around here is just now fully mainstream. You know, it's meant to just like project the wrong idea. It's not about the music. It's about how people like see you. You know,
it's like mainstream to not be mainstream. That's like, I feel like that's kind of what it is around here. Like, it's super cool to be hardcore, and it's super cool to have the same sound as a lot of like, I mean, I'm not saying the musicians aren't talented, because they definitely are. They definitely know. A lot of them know more than I do, and I mean, like, better musicians than us. It's just, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It doesn't seem like it has too much behind it.
Yeah, there's no depth. The songs sound the same. There's like a structure that it all follows. It's not coming from the heart. It's like, it has to. This is the type of music that has to be planned out and has to be like following a script, basically, and that's not good. I don't like to listen to music that's like that. I really don't.
Yeah, see, I've like I told you guys, I've been a metalhead all my life. I love metal. I've never gotten into punk too much. But the thing I have to say is like with the drums, they're really hard, they're really heavy hitting, and you can hear every distinct note that the guy's playing.
That's for sure.
Yeah, it just seems a little too technical, and like they try to stay in just like this. There's no intensity, almost like they're playing to try to be perfect and perfect it, and it's like there's natural volume intensities and like amplitudes that like go when you play, like when you're into it, and when it gets hard, like it naturally just volume raises, different stuff happens.
Yeah,
I mean, like when we play our shows, we don't play the same thing the whole time. I mean it's the same song, but like it's not like my solos, they're not the same the whole time. Like I try to make it still kind of the same, but at the same time it's what I'm feeling, or I'm drunk or into the music. And like it's just, there's this other thing that I'm just like, like super into it and do something different, I guess, where it still sounds cool, but it's more of a in the moment type thing.
So basically what you're saying is you're playing the same basic idea, but it never is the same?
No, yeah, my solos they're never exactly the same. Like some parts they'll start off the same, but then like it'll just go into something else or something like that. It'll still sound like the same song. It doesn't sound like it's going off or anything. It's just, I mean, some of our songs we drag out, like, and we improvise on stage, and like some of our songs are longer on stage than they actually are on the demo, just because we like to drag some stuff out. And sometimes like there's a moment when Steve-O's just stays quiet for a little bit, and there's a part where he's either just quiet or he's screaming, but the instrumentals are just kind of going off on their own thing for a little bit, and then we go back into it, and then it gets just kind of hard again, and whatever it is goes back into it. Like it's not like, it's never the same thing. It's always like whatever we feel. Shit, we improvise on stage. Like some people say, oh, that's kind of scary to do, but it's like not if you're into it, and not if you're feeling it. Like it's the feeling, and it's cool too. I mean, I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like we messed up. Like, shit, even our first show, like, we felt like wasn't, I mean, we thought it was pretty good, but it wasn't anything like our demo. Like, it wasn't, we didn't have every note down, note for note and everything. Like, there were some parts where we added or, like, did something else or different, like, we just added different parts and different solos came in, different rhythms. Steven would say something just crazy or something, just yell something, say some weird words or something like that. It's just more of a live in the moment thing, and that's kind of what we are. I mean, we like to be raw and just put it out there.
And that's why musicians are called artists, I believe. Even though I'm the drummer, and obviously, like, a lot of times people like kind of put off what you say. As an artist, you're literally making art. Like, obviously, if we were to have to record and make and produce an album, like, by all means, it would be, note for note perfected and all that. But when you're putting on a live performance, it's like you're painting a picture in front of people. It's not going to be the exact same picture that you painted a couple days before. You're going to be using different types of paints, different types of brush strokes and all that. It's going to come out different, but ultimately, it's going to be you're going to be looking at that same image.
Yeah, man.
Honestly, I think I'm a shitty guitarist. I think, like, I feel like I'm not even that good of a guitarist. I just feel like whatever happens, and it sounds decent because of the emotion and how I feel during the song, and whatever just comes out like that. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm too good of a musician or anything. Like, I have really any talent. I just put emotion into it and just do what I'm feeling, and that's why it helps to be drunk too.
Let me interrupt real quick. You're a phenomenal guitarist. You're just really humble. Just leave it at that.
All right, guys, can you tell me about the song Scum, Gunk, Sleaze, and Garbage?
Well, that song is really about I say it before I play that song live in front of anyone. That song is about a slut, and not one to be exact, but I lived in this town for a few years called Oxnard. There's a little shout out there, and a lot of people there were pretty slutty, honestly, and that song is about a woman who is ashamed of herself because she is so slutty, and some women should be, not all of them, but yeah, that's what it is. That's what it's about. It's about sex, sluts, and maybe a little bit of drugs in there. Sleaze also. Yeah. All the grossness that is built up inside of people that they don't like to admit. It's not just women too. It's anyone could be a slut. Mostly me. Yeah.
All right, this is Scum, Gunk, Sleaze, and Garbage. That was Scum, Gunk, Sleaze, and Garbage. But yeah, so what is the future hold for you guys after you find your musician companions?
If like I wish I could tell the future, but I mean I can use some context clues to determine what could be. If we were to have, a full band ready to go, I honestly think we'd really be able to take off from there, because with a full band, we'd be able to play more shows either where we're at or even at these like bigger cities that we've been to before. And right now we actually have some better equipment and everything. We got a lot more assets behind our band now, and we're ready to, put ourselves on the map.
Fucking us financially though.
Yeah, this is terrible. You know how it is, right?
So that's your plan. Is there anything else that you guys want to do? Are you looking to record another demo sometime soon?
Yeah, we're working on some stuff right now, and that's kind of a hard thing, is that we don't have a bassist or a rhythm. So it's like, it's kind of just, I'm the only guitarist right now, and Steve-O's thinking about picking up the bass and then making it just a three-piece of bass, drums, and guitar, and then bass and vocals at the same time, though. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's kind of difficult to keep writing without somebody else. Like, because I mean, it's hard for me to, because I don't like to write solos. Like, I don't like to just sit there and then write them out. Like, I like to do it while we're jamming.
Yeah.
And that's how it comes out the best. And so it's just kind of a hard task to do that. Like, when I'm writing the rhythm, but then have nobody to play the rhythms. And so we're working with the guy right now. Hopefully he's down to stick it through for at least a few shows or whatever we're doing. But yeah, that's kind of, I mean, I don't know if we're gonna be doing any professional recordings soon. Like, all of our stuff is kind of, it's played different every time. It's gonna be hard for us to want to pick every single note that we want to play in a recording.
Yeah. And speaking of future, we're still looking for shows around our hometown area. We've just, basically, it seems like Fresno County kind of just shunned us away because of my sexuality, so to speak. And yeah, we would love to get some shows maybe closer to home, fucking Fresno County, Tulare County, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, we just want to do more shows, basically.
Yeah, and it's really, honestly, like, I can tell you this, it's the distance that like kind of turns off a lot of like the rhythms that we've gone through, because we've gone through a lot of rhythms, and it's kind of like we have ammo in our belt pouches, like,
yeah.
They'd be down if like we were able to get shows locally, but that's the problem. And that's why, like, if we were able to play shows in like the Visalia area or stuff like that, that would be great, because we would be fully down. We'd have guitarists like ready to go right then and there. Like, we'd be fine. We'd be able to get up there, no problem. That's for sure.
Shit, yeah, we all have jobs too. Like, it. So like last show we went up to play in LA. We me and fucking Gimp had we had work the next morning, and it was fucked up. Like, we went and we threw a hotel party after, had a couple of hotel rooms. We were up drinking till like 5, 6 in the morning. I think I was up till like fucking 6:30 in the morning, and then we left by 7:30 in the morning. So like it was so messed up. Like, I only got like an hour of sleep. A lot of us only got a couple hours of sleep, and then we had to head back another 4.5-hour drive to get back, and then we had to go to work. Like, that sucks.
Yeah, it just shows our dedication, because like, I was able to plan the show, the hotel, and everything around the fact that we had to work at noon the next day. Like, I was driving 120 like back on the freaking like 99. That's no joke. But
Wow.
I mean,
I had no idea. I was crashed out drunk
this
in the
guy
car.
was asleep. But yeah, like I said, it just shows our dedication. You know, I like everybody has to be responsible. You know, live lives in this American society, but you know, you still got to be able to do what you love to do, and what we love to do is make music, and we're willing to, like, you know, make any special accommodations to that. We're willing to bend some rules. I don't care, but it's all about the music. That's what counts.
Get arrested. I don't give a shit.
Well, yeah, man. I don't really have any pull around the Visalia area, but if I hear of any shows, I'll make sure that people know about what you guys are trying to do. I think it'd be great to see you guys. I think it'd be one of those fun shows that you remember for a very long time. I don't think it's gonna be one of those that you just, oh yeah, I've seen them once, but I don't remember where, kind of deal.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, like shit, like we're playing and then we'll go off into just like instrumentals for a while. Steve-O would just fucking hit his face with the fucking mic and he's fucking bleeding. And like he breaks the mic stand and he'll run into the crowd and into the mosh pit and get in the mosh pit, and we're just still jamming on stage and stuff, and then we'll go back to it. Like we love to be show worthy. Like
I need your attention. I will abuse you for my attention.
So on that front, like, who are your influences? Who got you guys into punk and this way of being in a band?
Well, my influence is G.G. Allen and the Meatmen. My goal in life is to be as fucking hated as they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just I want to show my to people. And,
but we don't, because we know that's not how the world is anymore. No, but and yeah, mine is same thing. G.G. Allen, Meatmen, SOA, Black Flag, like those are all really cool. Like Negative Approach, and just a lot of the super just hardcore back in the day 80s bands, and just like ones that are super out there. I like a lot of just stage just craziness and fucked up, and yeah, like just stage presence and fucked up and being real. Honestly, like it's more of a real thing to us. It's kind of what we live every day. We're scumbags. Like it's not a front. It's a real thing for us.
Yeah, and as for me, the Gimp, I love rock and roll so much. I've listened to so many different types. I've recently just got into this harder edge of it with my two fellow bandmates here. But if I were to like come up with some musical influences, I would say that in terms of my drumming, Slipknot and Guar, and also, even to go off on a different note, Smashing Pumpkins, their drummer Jimmy Chamberlain, he's a very talented drummer, but these three bands, I would say they're my drumming influences. You know, they thrash, they blast beat if they have to, and like the fills are just insanely fast, and I would like to say I'm capable of that, and I'm proud of it. I just love drums. I love music. I'm able to do what any band really wants me to do. I feel like I'm a toolkit, but that's what a Gimp is, right?
All right, so you said that Slipknot's one of your major influences. What did you think of the new CD?
The new CD?
Yeah.
I've only listened to, I think, one or two of the songs. I would need to listen to it more, but I actually think they're doing pretty good without, you know, couple of their main heads that they had before. I honestly forgot the names of the songs that I listened to, but I like them overall, you know, because I like to go for walks.
Yeah.
It's funny that, and when I go for walks, I like to, you know, listen. I like to put on a playlist of like the newer rock music, newer metal music, and listen to what comes on the radio. And a couple of the songs from Slipknot came on. I liked it. I digged it. I couldn't really, like, obviously you can tell there's a slight difference because of their lineup, but ultimately they're doing a great job with what they have. Without Joey Jordison, without Paul Gray, I think they're doing a good job. I'm still going to continue listening to Slipknot as long as they're a band.
Yeah. And while we're on this subject, yeah, Slipknot hit us up for a show. Shit.
Even fucking Eddie, yeah, like fuck, like jam. But we have a lot of different musical influences too. We listen to a lot of different stuff. We listen to like Bob Marley and Billie Holiday, like just like shit, like kind of just evens us out too, instead of from all the fucking craziness and mayhem that we are and all the fucking psychotic maniac thoughts that we have. Listen to some fucking oldies and Bretton Wood and Al Green and some old school fucking jazz and like 50s shit. Like we're kind of all over the place, but like we're kind of everywhere, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta have your highs and your lows. You gotta be able to even out. As hard as you want to be, you know, you gotta have your soft side. You gotta have your mellow side.
But it's always being real. It's always being real with yourself and everybody else.
Yes, that's a fact.
All right, guys. Can you tell me about the song "Followed in the Park"?
Oh, Followed in the Park. Another shout out to Oxnard, California, I guess. It's actually about based on an episode of Law and Order about some guy who I guess most Law and Order episodes, you know, and it's about a park that I used to hang out and get really drunk at in Oxnard, California, called Bubbling Springs, and it's completely fictional, but it's about the hypothetical scenario of running around and following people in the park, basically, of Bubbling Springs, and it's kind of a fucked up folk tale, but it's real, you know.
All right, well, here's "Followed in the Park." And that was "Followed in the Park."
On another thing, I guess, me and Sexual Steve-O are brothers, Josh and Steve-O. Yeah, we're just kind of brothers that were kind of wanted to do this. I mean, like, we've been in different other stuff, trying to start other bands. I moved away, went up to San Jose. He moved away, went up to Oxnard for a while. So, but then we came back like around the same time, around last year, August, September or something, and then we just kind of jammed together for the first time, and then kind of how this band came to be. And at that moment, it was just it was there.
when you guys say brothers, do you mean like blood brothers or like really close friends?
Yeah, we're actual brothers. Like,
all right.
We think we got the same dad. So.
All right. So being that you guys do the improvisation all the time, how long did it take you guys to actually get comfortable enough with each other to be able to do that and know that you guys were on the same wavelength?
Honestly, it just kind of clicked because while Steve-O was away in Oxnard, and then that was for a brief amount of time, Josh was here while Steve-O was away, and at that time, I was actually in a band with a guy named Skyler. Fucking hate that guy. Kind of, he's cool though. But anyways, we were just jamming together. That's when we had like a more psychedelic, bluesy, garage rock type of sound. But then as soon as Steve-O came back, that was when Skyler was away doing his own thing, and then when Steve-O came back, me, Josh, and Steve-O, we just kind of clicked. It was like an instantaneous like sound. We were already ready to do what we needed to do. We already knew that we were just like a harder, edgier band, and it was great. It was like as if we didn't have to put any effort into changing.
So to answer your question, it was very soon. We just jammed and we.
Yeah, I think since the first day.
Like, fuck. We clicked just like most fucking band and musician members do. It was the shit when we jammed the first day. Shit.
I mean, that's another thing too. I mean, we don't want like people that are just here to play, I guess, for another band. Like we're all friends. Everybody that's been through our band, all our rhythm guitarists that have been through our band are all friends that we've known for years, and they're all really good friends of ours. Like it's just we all have a good time. Like it's not we're just doing it to do it. Like we're all friends that have a good time and like to fucking just party and like the scene, and we're just like, yeah, let's fucking, we're doing this already. I mean, you want to fucking come and be a part of it? Like, that's fucking, we're just all fucking doing something cool.
Yeah, most of the bands that I've been in, like I said, we do the same thing to write, and it's really interesting to see how a song takes form when you're doing something like that. It's very, very like artistic, like you guys said, and it's very energizing. Like, at least for me, I don't know. I'm sorry, guys.
No, that's how it is for us too. I mean, like, we don't even know honestly how like it happened. It just kind of happens. Like in our songs, they're not like super fast the whole time. Like there's parts where it's just we're jamming like da 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 da, and then it'll go into like some slow part in the middle of the song just randomly, and all of us somehow ended up being on point with each other, and then just were able to just go into that slow part, and it just kind of worked out. I mean, none of it was planned. It somehow just worked, or I just hit the wrong note, and then it ended up going with it, and then I just went with it, and that's kind of how it is. When I jam, like, these guys are all doing their own thing, and I'm doing solos and shit, and then I'm like, oh fuck, I just fucked up. I just hit this wrong button. This sounded terrible. This is so bad. Like, and then when we go back and listen to it, it sounds all right. But I'm just like, oh fuck, I just fuck everything up. But it ends up all right some of the time.
The next recording you guys do, are you still going to do the iPhone thing, or are you guys going to try to do multi-track recording?
Yeah, we need to ditch the iPhone. We need to come up with a more productive and practical way of recording. Like we're definitely going to invest in a device that can do so.
Yeah. But honestly, we're a bunch of broke bastards. So most of the shit you see on the internet and stuff will probably start out as an iPhone recording, but we, like our drummer said, we're trying to get more towards professional shit, you know.
Well,
yeah, I mean, it's just hard in the society. There's just numerous times we've just been fucked over, and the government just takes our money for no reason. But everyone can relate with that. But that's just how America is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit.
Well,
but I mean, but not even that. Like some bands just have fucking they have some kind of help. Their friends, their parents buy them shit. But like us, is just kind of fucked. We just kind of had to get fucked financially ourselves, just because we didn't have anybody to help us with anything. So that's why we kind of just do it on my shitty iPhone that I fucking bought off of Craigslist for fucking $60. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's fucking all cracked and doesn't even fucking work. Like, it's all fucked up, and it's just we use what we have, basically. I mean, we would hope that our future songs are going to get better, but as for the most part, I just got a new phone. Like, so hopefully they come out a little better with this new phone.
The cool thing is, right now we live in an age where it's very, very easy to do that. I work at a minimum wage job. They pay me for 32 hours a week, and
So
minimum wage. And but the thing is, with a little bit of research, I found out that I had enough money to build a recording studio in my second bedroom. So I have a recording studio sitting here in my second bedroom. I have everything to record a metal record. I'm 9 songs deep in my record right now, and it's very, very easy. It's great to be musicians such as yourself right now at this time, because you can record it by yourself, you can release it by yourself, and you can have all the money come back to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm taking a recording class right now in college, just trying to do it ourselves. Like, it's fucking, we're just all trying to do it ourselves completely. And so, I mean, our next stuff, I mean, it's gonna be, we're gonna try to have it decent, maybe a little mic'd here and there, like mic up the drums and the amps, but that's all we can do. we don't really care for too much studio recordings. Like, I mean, it's cool, but I mean, like, if we don't need to spend all that money and all that stuff, I mean, we don't really, I mean our songs are kind of fucked. So, like, this, I mean, they sound decent. You're able to hear most of it, but it's, I mean, it kind of adds to it. It kind of adds some atmosphere to what we do. It makes it more just, we're raw. Like, it's just fucking, it's raw, and like, it's just there, and it's fucking, we just did it.
You want to hear the fucking real shit and experience us for, like, real? You just go to our shows and experience it with your eyes and ears and whatnot. Whatever appendage you gotta use.
Even at all of our shows, we get out free CDs, flyers, stickers, like, fucking, all our shit's free. I mean, we accept donations, but nobody gives us donations. Like,
yeah.
But I mean, it's not. I don't know. I mean, hopefully one day we'll make some kind of little bit of cash to buy a burrito or some beer.
Yeah, that's why that's the GIMP. My mission in life now is to win the Guitar Center drum off, because not only will you get a bunch of cash and equipment, you'll get studio time in Brooklyn and all that stuff, and that would just make a set. That would just, like, fill us as a band right there.
Yeah, good luck with that, brother. I'm looking forward to seeing you on that, man. I will not do that. I don't know. I can't do that. I'm not a solo drummer. There's no reason for me to be a solo drummer, and I just sit there in awe of everybody else. I wouldn't play.
Yeah, that's kind of just, I don't know. Yeah, we do it, just try to do it ourselves. But I mean, shit, if we could get any kind of something, or I don't know. We don't really rely on anybody else. We don't care if we start making money or anything. It'll be cool. Like, shit, it'd be awesome if we start being able to sell some CDs or fucking get our CD in a record store or something, instead of just having to put some burnt fucking computer CDs on a shelf out on the side of Rasputin's or fucking some stupid record store, or fucking just giving them out in the streets. Like, I mean, that's what we do. I mean, we don't mind it at all. We just fucking, shit, we gotta, it's money. I mean, we haven't really spent money on CDs. We ended up just going, like, to stores and
But don't tell anybody because
This will all be bleeped.
No, but so yeah, everything we do is just kind of fucking ghetto. Like we're just
Hey man,
we're
my
ghetto
first
as fuck.
recordings, that I did were on a tape machine, a recording tape machine outside my garage. The second one was a computer mic recording the speaker of a TV into a recording program on the computer. And it took me 10 years to actually get to where I was like, oh, so this is how you make music sound, legible. It took me 10 years, man. And I'm happy in my situation, but it's one of those that I've always dreamed about. So, that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, we're not struggling. Like, I mean, we're struggling, but like, it's not like we're not really caring too much about how. Like, as long as they're able to hear the songs without fucking it just be super fucking just feedback and just super just you can't even understand or hear anything, then it's decent. I mean, our demo is just it's a little bit hit and miss, or like it's a little fucked, but I mean it's decent enough.
Yeah,
It's
but
decent.
it gives it character though. I haven't seen somebody actually release like as a demo improv sessions. I mean, I've recorded them and I've used them to write songs, but I've never actually seen somebody like say, okay, this is what we sound like, this is our improv, and our songs came from this idea. And, that's really, really cool.
Yeah, definitely. I'm glad that you touched on that because I really believe that we're just talented enough to go somewhere. We're able to lay it down right then and there.
Yeah.
Like,
and at the same time, I almost don't understand how people make music. Like, I mean, do they just sit there and and just kind of write stuff and like play it just by themselves, or do they?
Do you want to know how I do?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, so the way I do in my studio is I'm only one person, so I play all of the instruments.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, so I'll sit down with a click track and I'll play the guitar. But that's only after I've settled on lyrics. So I'll try to make the guitar into that feeling. And I'll go and I'll write a chorus or a verse, and I'll be like, that's pretty nice. Okay, now let's add a chorus to that, and then I'll add a chorus, and then for the writing sessions, I copy and paste most of it until I have the full song, and then I transfer it to a audio track, and I sit down and I play the drums to its entirety. I write the drums, and I don't keep the drums unless they're all the way and they're on time. And then I go back and I redo the guitars and the bass, and then I add vocals. And that's how it's done.
That sounds like a lot of work, but I mean, I commend you for that.
Yeah, I mean, that's
one-man band, I couldn't do that. That's really cool, dude.
shit. I mean, when I was living in San Jose, I met this dude. He was a really good friend of mine. He wanted me to be lead in his band, but I ended up moving back here to Risley after a while, and his name was Jofa, and he was just it was like a rockabilly kind of band, and he did his shit. He was a one-man band. Like, he'd record drums, he'd play his own drums and rhythm and even backup vocals, and he'd record it and put it on his iPod, and then go up there with an amp, put his phone on his iPod on the amp, and then he would go up there and he would sing, and then have his guitar, and just go up there like that by himself.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, like, it was really cool. It was Jofa, the one-man band. Like, it was really cool. Like, shit, I went to one of his shows and we partied after that. Like, it was really cool. But I mean, for us, I mean, luckily we just had, I don't even know. We just had Steve had the lyrics, and then we just jammed it, I guess. I mean, shit, I can't make stuff up. Like, if I try to make things up in my own head and just like by myself, I'd just be like, oh man, I don't know if that even sounds good. Does that sound good in a band? Like, would that sound good in actuality, or like, and
that's
but
one of
when
the
we
problems.
actually do our improv, it seems like it comes out something different.
Yeah, that's one of the problems I have had and continue to have is sometimes the ideas just don't feel right, and that's really annoying. But the downside to this, like the upside is I get to make all the decisions. You know, nobody's telling me that I suck anymore. I get to play what I want, when I want, and how I want, and all of that. But the downside is sometimes it gets extremely frustrating and extremely like lonely. Like, you know, when you guys set down your guitars and your drumsticks, I mean, you have, you know, 2 other people there to joke around with and everything. When I set it down, I just walk out of the room. There's no continuation to that. There's no camaraderie like there is with a band. It's very, very, very frustrating sometimes.
Yeah,
for sure.
I can picture it now. A lonely musician just stuck with his thoughts. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's how I used to feel before I got in this band. Before me and Steven decided to be in a band together. Before that, we were trying to be in separate bands. And then, because he was living up there, I was living all the way he was up south, I was up north. Like, it was just trying to be in different bands, and this band and together ended up working out. But before that, I was trying to write my own shit and like my own lyrics, my own guitar parts, thinking about how the drums would sound to this song, or my own leads and everything. And it's just kind of like, fuck, yeah, people are gonna like it or not. I mean, like, I almost didn't even care, but at the same time, you do kind of care, and it's hard.
Yeah, man, for me, the whole deal with that is I'm writing the songs for me right now. And that's really the important thing for me right now is I have, like, one of them is about one of them's called Destroy Everything. And it's about, like, when I get angry, I just want to, like, destroy everything in my path. And I thought, you know, yeah, I really want to have that. I want to exercise that in a positive way. So I wrote a song about it.
Yeah, that's what a lot of our songs are about. Fucking, it's kind of crazy. Like, there's a song we have. Shit, I don't even remember what it's from or which song it is exactly. I think it might be Brain Sick. I don't know. It might be something other than that. But where Steve-O says, it's like instrumentals, and then it goes, I'm really fucking pissed and I don't know why, get the hell back or we're all gonna die. And then he goes in the pit and just starts fucking, and instrumentals are playing, and then there's a pit going on, he goes in the pit, and it's just kind of sick. It's just kind of, yeah, that's how it is.
That's awesome, man.
Oh, fuck, dude, what the hell did you do?
Going back to the song that you wrote, man, like, about Destroy Everything, that's pretty awesome, because literally, like, just, like, 2 days ago, I was thinking, like, man, like, that would be cool if there was a song called Destroy Everything, and you already, like, it's funny because you already got ahead of it. Oh, shit, dude, Steve-O just pissed everywhere. Oh, my God, what the hell?
He just pissed in a beer can, and then it spilled. I can't believe he just did that inside of the house, indoors in a room. Like, what is that, like 24 ounces, and I overfilled that shit?
That's terrible. And instead of Destroy Everything, call it Piss on Everything.
Like, there's a restroom like fucking 20 feet away. Like,
well, yeah, man. The thing about Destroy Everything is there is a song called Destroy Everything by a band called Hatebreed. And yeah, the problem is with that is when I hear the song, or when I hear the title, I hear my version of it. But Jamie Josta's version in Hatebreed is, you know, Destroy Everything that makes you weak. And it's like uplifting and everything. I was like, you know, I'm going to take the title and I'm going to make it my own, because I truly believe, like, this song has some merit somewhere. Like, because I get very angry and I just want to break something so bad.
For sure. We know where you're coming. I mean, we have a song, it's kind of fucked up, but, like, It's called like that's, and Gigi Allen has a song called "I'm," but ours is a little different. I mean, it's our own, but I mean, same title.
Yeah, it's all about the content within the song. I think the title is just fluff. You need to have some content in there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, shit, people some people, like, we try to hit up some hardcore bands and people that are playing, like, we're setting up hardcore shows, and it's just like, come on, we're a punk band, we're hard too. I mean, we think we're fucking kind of hard and raw in there, and like we play with grindcore bands and metal bands and all this other shit, all these other kind of bands, but they're just like, no, like, you guys are punk, we're hardcore. There's completely different things. We have an emotion that we put out, and you guys will kill it. And we're just like, what fucking emotion are you guys putting out there? They're like, and it's just like, what the fuck? But I mean, like, shit. I mean, people here think our stuff is kind of too much, but I mean, it's just like, it's like fucking Steve will explain it one time. It's just like watching Law and Order. I mean, a couple of his songs are about episodes of Law and Order that are fucked up from the Psycho's perspective. It's like watching an episode of Law and Order, but from the Psycho's perspective.
Yeah, it's all reality. It all boils down to the media. The media for this country, they'll be able to tell you whatever they want, and most people are just going to believe it. But when people try to speak the truth, that's not in the honor of the media. People are like, oh, no, shut that down. That's terrible. No, don't talk about that, blah, blah, blah. When it's just bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
People need to know the truth. People need to be able to speak what they want without the, like, thought in the back of their head that, oh, will people judge me for this? Is this acceptable? Is this blah, blah, blah? You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, that's it's right, and it's terrible because the news tells you a lot of bad stuff, but it's fabricated most of the time. They spin it into a way that it's not it's bad, but it's not, oh my god, this is going on in my state kind of bad. And I don't like that. I mean, people can watch Law and Order and NCIS and Criminal Minds and all that, but they can't have somebody be told the truth. And it really, really grinds my gears. I mean, those characters are fake. But you know, somebody getting murdered or something like that, people don't like to see. They want the news to be something they want to hear. It's like, no, that's not. Yeah, you're stupid.
Yeah, but it's reality. People don't want to hear it, but it's reality, and we're not condoning it. It's just we're making it aware, and it's there. I mean, like, if somebody, like last time we were talking to a guy about it, and he was saying, what would we do if somebody got too pumped up to our music and was just like, yeah, sounds like a good idea. Like, that's not, I mean, and we said last time that we don't condone that. I mean, if somebody's fucking trying to do something like crazy like that and actually trying to do some fucked up shit, then we're gonna handle it. Like, it's not acceptable to do it. We're just making it aware, and that it's there. It's in reality, and we're not gonna. Yeah, like people like that are fucked up.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely we beat the crap out of that guy, and I myself, the Gimp, I would get him like a battering ram and ram him through my bass drum head like a bunch of times, and I would freaking destroy him.
And like I said last time too, if that happens, hopefully the girl would want to reward us. Hopefully she'll do something with us and we want to come back and
we'll consensual.
I mean, maybe she's a freak like that. I mean, we don't know, but I mean, it's consensual.
Well, the problem with that you're talking about, it's been like this since the 80s, I believe the 70s maybe. But like there was Dee Snider from Twisted Sister, there was Rob Halford from Judas Priest, Ozzy, Marilyn Manson, Kiss, I believe at one point. They were all pegged as bad and influential in these things. I mean, there was a serial killer that said that AC/DC lyrics told him to go and stalk. I think his name was like the Night Stalker. And
shit.
yeah, it's. I think it's cowardly to put music in a way that it makes you want to kill or maim or hurt. It's not that way. Like it's a song, you jackass.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's meant to be a positive outlet. Like even if you actually want to do these things, like I will commend you as a person if you get it out in a positive way. If you are able to use the music to unleash these feelings that you can't do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's one of the best parts about music is you can live vicariously through what you're saying or the character you're playing on stage or like the music that's coming out of your instrument. You can release that and not go to jail for being a dumbass.
Exactly, like that is spot on, man, because me as a gimp, honestly, I've never done like dominating type of stuff. I've never been like, ball tortured and all of that, but like I mean I'm down, but
Fuck. We all are. We're down to lick band. Not dudes though. Not saying dudes.
only women. We're not gay.
All right, well, what are the websites people can contact you guys and listen to your music at?
You can check us out anywhere. We have YouTube, SoundCloud, Ssatns. We have Reverb Nation /Ssatns, Facebook /Ssatns, and ssatns.bandcamp.com, and Facebook, like Twitter, whatever. We don't really do too much with Twitter, but Facebook and our other music stuff that you can listen to our music, go for it. You can hit us up on our personal Facebooks or on our Facebook account on our band Facebook. Hit us up. We'll give you a free CD, whatever. And you can get a free CD from us from Bandcamp. You could download free downloads from Bandcamp or make a donation. Like,
Awesome.
we're broke as fuck. And what we do it's not cheap getting instruments and all that stuff. I mean, a donation would be cool. Give us a quarter.
Drumsticks are not cheap.
I mean, if we could pay for the CDs, that'd be cool, but we can't, so we don't.
All right, guys. Well, yeah. Thank you very much for your time. It's been a blast talking to you. It's been an experience, to say the least.
Thank you.
It's been awesome, guys. Good luck with everything. If anything goes on, if you find a new member, contact me. Let me know. I'd love to hear what you guys have in store for the future.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll let everybody know, and we'll let you know when we coming out with a new album. We're working on a new album right now. We're working on new songs, new material, and shows are coming up soon also.
All right,
So
guys.
just look out for that. Everybody look out for that. Like us on Facebook.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you again. Have a good night, guys.
You too. Thank you for having us. Thank you very much.
All right, later. And that was Sexual Steve-O and the Neighborhood Scum. Not so bad, right? They're pretty cool guys. Really funny. Very interesting to talk to them. The band has an interesting approach to many things, especially the way they write music. They improv, they record, and then they learn the songs. That's completely backwards to anything I've ever done personally. It's amazing, man, and I've got to say it takes guts because I don't know if I could ever do that with as much confidence as they have. I just don't know if I'd ever be comfortable enough not practicing and just letting the improv speak for itself. That's how I write music, yes, but that's not how I record music, and it's very, very, very interesting to me that they do that. Thankfully, Sexual Steve-O and the Neighborhood Scum are comfortable enough to pull that off, and they are amazing for it. I'm very interested in hearing what you have to say about the show, especially this show. If you got the unedited version that's not on the podcast feed, please contact me on Facebook, on Tumblr, on Twitter, on Instagram, on email, something. Let me know you guys are listening and let me know what you think of that unedited version. You can always contact me on Facebook, facebook.com/thelocalmusicrevolution, and on Twitter at TLMR podcast. The podcast can be followed and researched and looked upon on WordPress, thelocalmusicrevolution.wordpress.com. That is where all of the new updates are. That is where the unedited version of this podcast is, and that is where everything you need to know about the podcast is right there on WordPress. So go check it out and follow the blog. You can also subscribe, rate, and comment to the podcast on iTunes. All you have to do is search The Local Music Revolutions on the podcast section of iTunes, and there we are. You'll pop up. You subscribe, leave a comment, let me know how you're doing, and ratings help with ranking. That will make sure that all of these bands that I have on this show be seen by more people, and that is what this is all about. For Android users like myself, there is Stitcher. All you have to do is download the app, sign up for the app. You can use Facebook, Google+, or your regular email. Just sign up. Once you're done with that, search The Local Music Revolution, and it will be there. All the past episodes, all the future episodes you can continue to listen to. Remember, while you're doing this, to comment, rate, add, and subscribe to The Local Music Revolution, because that right there will help get us out. I can't say this enough. It is what we need help with. You are the advertising portion of this podcast. The other portion of the podcast is the bands, the artists, and the companies that help those bands and artists. I'm always looking for new guests to have on the show. All you have to do is send me an email at thelocalmusicrevolution@gmail.com, and we'll get the process started to get you an interview and on the show. You can also go to WordPress, like I've been telling you. There is an interview sign-up sheet on there. All you have to do is fill it out, press send, and it will go straight to me, and I will email you as soon as I get it. Next Thursday is Giovanni from Lost and Decayed and Urban 20 Productions. He's a young guy making music, and that is what is awesome. That is what gives us hope for the future, and that is amazing. As always, this is The Local Music Revolution. I am Ogre. You are so amazing. Thank you again, everyone. Until next time, take care and be good, everyone.